Hello tankers and welcome to Makos and Meadowhawk Review Gold League tanks. Makos has decided to start the year off by suntanning on a cruise somewhere nice, so it'll just be me today. I was recently asked by David Williams and Christian Thoma what my favorite tier 10 medium was, and I had to go with the German Leopard 1. There are many things to like about the Leo other than having the same patterned interior as Negatron's underwear, so let's dive into this tank. The development of the Leo 1 started in 1950. At the time, the general perception from the developers was that the current high-explosive anti-tank round negated any armor they might design. So instead, the engineers decided to build a highly mobile platform for an extremely powerful gun that would be a German-designed version of the British L7 105mm. When they finished the Leopard and it rolled off the line in 1965, it was arguably the most mobile main battle tank in its era. They would go on to make 6,485 Leos, and it would become the main battle tank of many nations, and that's where my bias for this tank comes in. In 1978, the Canadian Armed Forces were looking for a replacement for their aging fleet of Centurions, and they upgraded with Leopard 1A3s, which they would call Leopard C1s. We still use Leopards today, but have since upgraded to the Leopard C2. In this game, as in with real life, the Leopard has great mobility and a stellar gun. However, it sacrifices armor for this. Players must be aware that you must play a supporting role with the Leopard, and you cannot brawl with this tank because although you might bounce a few rounds off other tanks, consider yourself lucky if you bounce anything with the Leo. You want the typical crew skill for a medium tank. However, if for some reason you have a new crew, you will want to start off with smooth ride, snapshot, safe stowage, and whatever you want to choose for the commander. Ideally, you'll want Sixth Sense, but if you have the money to take something else and then switch over once you reach 100% on the first skill, I would do that. As for equipment, you'll want the vertical stabilizer, a gun rammer, and then you can either go with optics, gun lane drive, or if you're really sick of getting ammo racked, a wet rack. For consumables, because this tank gets ammo racked quite frequently, you can always go with 2 repair kits, one small and one big. However, just be aware that the crew members die frequently in the Leo as well, so Jack of all trades skills is a good choice for a commander's crew skill. Automatic fire extinguisher is also a must, as Artie can ruin your day with a fire. So let's go ahead and jump into battle and I can show you how this plays. Okay, so normally the Leo is great in open maps. A lot with the open fields and hills are great for hull down. City maps like Winter's Himmelsdorf, though, offer the Leo somewhat of a challenge. The Leo can be very hard to deal with in city maps because you have no armor to side scrape. There are limited hull down spots. You can usually find places amongst the rubble, but it's not nearly as good as an open map where you can keep your distance. I don't normally like to play the hill on Himmelsdorf in a Leo because the hull down in a Leo isn't quite as good as other medium tanks, so you could get worked over up there. I normally like to play the middle here. Normally in matches you'll get a bunch of scouts that will try and scout the middle courtyard, kind of like Gold League style, big loop. So I'm going to head there right off the break and see if I can get a pot shot into one of their scouts.
Let's get this show on the road.
And so our Type 62 has spotted the Wizzy there, which I suspected, so I'm going to pop out here before their tanks show up and put a shot in this stuff.
Penetration.
Now this spot over here is great for middle control. You do have to be aware though that in a couple minutes the enemy could have tanks up on the hill and you are not safe here from the hill. So I like to move over to this corner on this side until you get some teammates up on the hill to engage those people, and then you can help them out. Just seeing if this Wizzy's going to try and make a run for it, because he is officially stuck. Now I noticed that an E4 has moved up the middle road there. And there goes the Wizzy.
They're knocked down.
Knock him out. And our E4 is now going to wreck our scout. So while he's dealing with the scout, I'm going to try and get some pot shots into him.
Penetration.
And showcases the great pen of the Leo there with the standard round. It just penned his cupola.
Penetration.
Penned it again. Now our forces are starting to get up onto the hill, and hopefully they'll be spotting some stuff soon. In the meantime, I'm a bit scared to go anywhere because that E4, there we go. There's 54 lightweight on the hill.
Enemy armor is damaged. damaged.
Now notice that I am spotted there. These guys can't see me down south. So you can see how this spot isn't super great if you're not mindful of the hill. Don't know why those heavies on the hill aren't pushing up on those guys. They should be wrecking them. Tried to snap on the E4, it didn't quite work. Now this spot here is great. It's used a lot in Gold League. If you look to the left here, you can see through that window where people like to sit. It's great if that Patton would back up. I could shoot him in his turret, but it looks like he's engaged with the heavies pushing on him. And so now if I look at the layout of the current enemy team here, they have a lot on the 3-4 line with a Leo and an IS-4 pushing down Banana Road. Their hill is about to fall to our heavies. They only really had lights up there, so I really need to go over here and flank this Leo and IS-4 because they're really wrecking our team. Our team doesn't seem to know how to deal with the IS-4, so I'm going to rush over there and try and get these guys, get some help. Shot on the move there, missed. Leo's afraid he's going to back off.
Enemy armor is hit.
Put one into him and then come in behind him. That Leo's got nowhere to run. Use this as held down and bounced off my front plate. Now this IS-4, it's free shooting all day.
Penetration.
Oh, some scouts came off the hill. Scouts in a Leo are bad. Like even the tier 8 scouts and the tier 7 scouts can pen you. So I'll deal with these guys. That IS-4 is dealing with our E100 and E75.
Enemy armor is hit.
Let's see if I can snapshot this T-54 lightweight.
Enemy is hit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and the fire too. Look at that. Bazinga. I'll come over here and help out with the IS-4.
Penetration.
Fire on the move. Those guys should have to deal with him now. He's only at 600 health. I'll go deal with his T-71, who's going to try and run away. Oh no, T-71, you sneaky. I shoot you through the window.
Got him.
And all they have left is a couple guys here on the 3-4 line. And I do not have any help because that IS-4 is somehow still magically alive. Okay, time to back off. 28. Oh, that was a bad RNG underneath him. I'm running away. Over this hill, hopefully. Okay, IS-4 is finally dead. I should have help coming here shortly. I don't know if this 69 is reloading or not. Pot shot. Missed. RNG is starting to fail me. Okay, here comes T-69. I'm going to try and track him and then... Oh! Artie just wrecked him. Thank you, Artie. T-57. It's reloading.
They're knocked out.
Just finish him off. And now, just a lone T-28. Get one into his lower plate.
We didn't even
Oh,
scratch
off
them.
the pike of his nose. That was a terrible choice by me. Okay, let's go for the safer hatch then. Hatch,
We didn't
and
penetrate
bounce
their
that as well.
armor.
Oh boy, what an end to that game. Either way, successfully showed how maneuverable the Leo can be, even in city maps, as long as you're aware of where the enemy is and who you can flank and where your support is. 4,800 damage isn't terrible. 4 kills. I would call that a successful match. Thanks for watching, guys.